In today's video, we're going to be talking about the importance of the walk. A lot of riders don't walk their horses very much, but in classical riding, the walk is actually the most important gait. Boucher said that the walk was the mother of all gaits. And the reason that he said that is because it is both lateral and diagonal. So we can train diagonal push and we can train lateral push in the walk. The walk is about 3 to 5 miles per hour and it is 4 beats. Does your horse feel spooky, explosive, or even a little off? Maybe you're stuck, frustrated, or wondering if you'll ever reach the level you're dreaming of, or if you need a different horse. From horses that blow up, feel inconsistent, or come up just sore, to riders who feel stagnant or are unsure what's missing, these challenges aren't random. They're signs of misunderstanding, not failure. In our online course, you'll learn how to truly listen to your horse, understand their biomechanics, and recognize what their body and behavior are telling you, so you can train with clarity instead of confusion. This is how you build real harmony, partnership, and confidence. Unlock your horse's potential and your own. Join our online membership or purchase our Harmony in Hand course today. You'll find the links in the description and in our bio. The reason that the walk can be so important for teaching is not only that it's both lateral and diagonal, but also that it's 4 beats, so you can supple each leg individually. Also, the walk is much slower, and so it's easier for us as riders to stay balanced. It's easier for us to track because we're not moving at speed, and it's also easier for our horses. The other reason that the walk is really important is if we use oppositional aids. Oppositional aids mean aids that interfere with each other. So if I pull with my hand and kick with my leg, that's going to be opposing, those aids are going to be opposing each other. If we do oppositional aids in the walk, it's going to start to decrease the harmonization and regularity and fluidity of the walk. So working your horse in the walk is something that will teach us as riders to have really good tact. There was a horse master named Lubasek who was actually said to never leave the walk. And when his students would get on his horses, they found that the horses were trained in all of the gaits, even though this master never left the walk. So the fun thing about the walk is that you can train your horse to do anything in the walk. I trained a horse and showed them 4th level dressage, and when I was preparing for my dressage test, I would actually practice the dressage test mostly in the walk. Even my flying changes I would practice in the walk, and then I found when I would go to do it in the trot and the canter, my horse was very well trained because of the precision and the slowness of the work that I did in the walk. So what does that mean when we say that the walk is 4 beats and it's both lateral and diagonal? So each leg is going to move independently in the walk, and when we increase the speed of our walk, the walk is going to be accentuating the lateral push, meaning left front and left hind. When we shorten the walk, it's going to be accentuating the diagonal push, which would mean right hind and left front. When we shorten the walk, that's going to help to strengthen our horse's loins, and when we lengthen the walk, that's going to help to strengthen our horse's hamstrings. One of the things that we should try to get in all of the gaits, but starting especially in the walk, is to be able to get maximum walk and then get P-off. So P-off is the most shortened diagonal version of the walk, and maximum walk is the most lateral lengthened version of the walk. If you can get both of those extreme kind of bookends, like I call it, of the gait, anything in between, such as a school walk and a collected walk, are very easy. So I'm going to show you some lengthening and shortening on this horse. He lengthens really well, and it's actually really fun when I'm trying to teach the other horses the lengthened walk. I always have this horse's lengthened walk in mind. So you'll see that when he lengthens, he becomes very lateral. Now he has a little bit of a funky right hind, so you'll see that when I start to shorten and diagonalize him, it's easier for him on 3 legs than it is to do on all 4 legs. But that's okay. What we're doing is trying to perfect the cadence and suppling of our horse. And so our horse isn't going to be perfect, maybe ever. And so we just want to try to work with that. And the walk is the best way to work with that. So let me show you some different things in the walk. At a good walk to part, the horse is going to shift their weight back before they walk off. So it's not just going to have him leaning on the shoulders. When you ask the horse to increase the walk, you think about just giving on each rein as that shoulder goes forward. I can just give on a single rein if that's easier for me to track though. So I can give on the right rein, I give now, now, now. And notice how easily this horse speeds up in the walk. And that's because he's very well trained. So he feels that pushing forward feeling on the rein, even though the rein is draped, and he knows that that means to walk faster and faster. So that is the maximum walk. I'm having to turn so that we can stay in the camera view, so I'm not able to get him going quite as much as I usually can. So then I'm going to show you a shortened walk. So when I shorten the walk, I just start to ask him to come up. I'll get that space in the rein as I ask his head to come up, and then I adjust my reins, add a little bit of energy, and the horse starts to shorten, and then I give in time with the shoulders, and he starts to lengthen. And then we can do all of our lateral movements in the walk. So I'll show you a shoulder in. So if my horse has a hard time diagonalizing on a specific diagonal like this horse does, he has a hard time, like we talked about with the right hind, doing a lot of shoulder in this direction can actually help him with that right hind. So notice that when I am doing my shoulder in, I'm only doing it on a single rein. I'm not opposing my aids with any other aid. So that way I can keep the cadence and the harmony of the walk. One of the things that we see, and that's one of the things that is common that we see in dressage horses, is that they will have a walk that has a lack of cadence, and that's because people use oppositional aids. And so the horse, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, they'll do some version of like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. And so when we use the walk, we will learn how to have very good tact and very good touch with our horses. Don't be afraid of walking your horse more. That a lot of times people don't walk their horse because they are afraid that their aids are going to ruin the walk. What you should try to do is learn how to have good tact with your horse, and the walk can be very beneficial if you have a horse that has lameness issues, as it's not going to be as hard on them walking as trotting and cantering. Also, I've had some phases in my life where I couldn't do as much physically, but I always knew that I could get on and walk my horses and still have a valuable training session in the walk.